Marcin. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Okay, man.
I'm good.
Fascinating. Thank you for applying and doing your stuff on time and all that. Pretty timely effort. What's this here? Okay, tell me first of all, how did you find out about our program?
I think I was doing some research about IP management, basically in agriculture, and this was the contrast of it, which was open source, and I really got hooked about it. And I think it was an internet research.
How long ago was that?
That was maybe 3 months ago.
3 months ago only. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. So yeah, I'm curious about how you see this working because I mean the initial idea is I'm trying to clarify in my mind what exactly the outcomes you're looking at, but I mean, the idea is here that, okay, on site, I mean, you learn everything hands on, right? So how does it work when you're going to be away? And a lot of this is building in a team setting, I mean, hands on, right? Like you're in classroom, whether you're collaborating on problem solving methods or actually building things. Tell me more like how you see this working. I'm not clear exactly about your goals. What I'm perceiving so far is that you want a generalized skill set, problem solving set for designing and building anything, which is our focus, problem solving abilities, right? And the real ability to do that in real life, building things. There's houses, there's machines, there's the physical infrastructures of civilization is what we talk about, right? So I'm
correct.
understanding that you want to learn how all that stuff is designed so you can build it at a deep level and start enterprises around that and make it affordable and cost effective and so forth. So tell me more.
That's correct. So I'm a fourth generation farmer. I've been doing this for my whole life, and most of the processes I've been doing, they're correlated to what we're teaching, from building houses for the people that work for us, buying tractors and having to fix them, and having to spend a lot of money in the tractors, buying tools and having to fix them. So when I saw your education that you're offering, for me, it's a big opportunity to be able to learn open source and be able to make everything myself. On a first point and enter enterprise structure, that's going to make me have much better cost and give me the opportunity to make projects without having to get so much debt with banks. So for me, that's the first step to do it. But after I learned this and applied on my own enterprises, which are on agriculture, I believe that I can also improve the lives of the people that work with us, building houses for them, having better wages, because in the cost structure is gonna be much lower. This is gonna be the big opportunity to really make the structure happen in a much easier way for me as an investor and farmer, but also for the communities I'm working with. That's part one, why I want to learn. But part two is because I see this as the future as well. We've been dealing with flies our whole life and with patents and with different services that we have to pay each day. So if I'm able to learn this, I can also tell you that I'm open to teach to other people and make it grow. Those are the two things I really want to make it happen. But first, I need to learn. That's what I want to take this as a student, as an apprentice, and after start applying into my own companies. And
Hmm.
after I start teaching to other people. And about the distance, how I see it, I know that the view. Sorry about the noise. I'm on a family event and I couldn't find a place with
Yeah,
no music. But
no problem.
and and about how I perceive how to learn this is I can build my own studio, follow your instructions, get some people that helps me to build, and send you the full information at some part. And if I need to visit you every month, I can do that as well.
Uh-huh. Okay, okay. Do you mind if we record this and do you mind if I publish this on the internet or is this are you okay with
It's
that?
okay.
Comfortable and
Yes,
you're public because we work as public individuals in this line of work. Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Okay, that sounds cool. Excellent. That's that's doable. Now, first thing, what do we have that we can offer you? Because so far we've developed a full so-called absolute full product release of a commercially buildable, extremely efficient house, including photovoltaics. So you might have seen the first house that is up for sale. We've built a number of buildings using compressed earth blocks and everything else. Now, for example, we're not using compressed earth block in the current build because we're saying, okay, here's the very simple stick frame construction that works and is easy to build with compressed earth blocks. That's a much more heavy infrastructure. Now, that means that while the first house was not compressed earth block walls, we aim to add it as soon as we can, as soon as we build the capacity. The situation for us here is that we we're bootstrapping the project and teaching others to do that. So I'm not the only one person doing it, because right now there is no single other enterprise that is out there running based on our techniques, right? Like one of the big disappointments, so to say, was after 2012 we're getting on a world stage, all these replications, and but the bottom line is it kind of died off because there was no people taking on as meaningful life-giving enterprise like a full-time thing, because you can't do a revolution as a part-time job, you know. It's like we were doing all the developments, but nobody's really taking it up. And part of the lesson was that, okay, we got to develop it to full commercial, like turnkey product, just like the house is right now, right? And that's how we do it. But right now, like for example, if you want a commercial grade tractor, the question would be, okay, when do we need it? Because for example, in November, we're looking at a session where we open source a skid steer, like a commercial grade 72, 76 horsepower skid steer. But right now, the prototypes that we've made, they're not there yet. Like, okay, we've built like 10 different prototypes, but they're all prototypes. And there's that difference between you've got final product release that now can go commercial versus stuff that's super users like myself. I mean, we use our tractors and things. We've built all our structures here with mostly with CEBs, but that takes, you know, the productization part, the refinement to the product grade. That's what we're doing over the next 4 years, to the point that with about $50 million bootstrapped through the house production and other machines as we get them out, that's what gets this going. The fact that we're teaching people, there's revenue from education programs, but the bigger part is we're cross-subsidizing everything through, right now it's the house sales, because that's the full product that we have. So I want to make sure that your expectations are correct in the sense that, okay, I see you're a real guy, you've got a real operation, you need stuff that works for real, but the facts are you are part of that development process. We don't have all that ready yet. I mean, we've released the tractor, brick press, power unit, soil pulverizer long ago, like 2011, and you know, there have been replications and things like that. But now we're talking to taking all of these things to commercial grade. So that's where we're at. So would that still be consistent with your goals?
Absolutely. So I don't have any rush into making it now. So my main goal is understanding how to make it. 4 years is perfect for me since my operations are already working with current machinery. But understanding this, understanding how to design it, process it, and do the production, I know that when I grow, my ventures are going to be such cost effective. That's going to be a big advantage. In 4 years, absolutely is worth it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a perfect use case. Now here's a guy that's got a successful operation, has enough vision to say that there are huge inefficiencies in what already exists, and we need to do better because we want to reduce cost and serve more people and make better lives for everybody. That would fit. That would definitely fit with our model. What questions do you have regarding the program right now?
I think it's very clear on your wiki pages.
Mm-hmm.
I read most of it. I saw some of your videos,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is very clear. I would say if I can start as soon as possible, and that would be my only question, I guess, because as explanation and as what the content is gonna show me what to do, I have very clear.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. Tell me more about your operation. Like, so you're doing okay. And the first thing that that kind of like the flag that when I saw your work, it's like, wow, okay, this is awesome. Here's a person interested in open source development, but you like, for example, your blueberries, that kind of stuff. It's like proprietary, right? Like you've got, or how is it?
Well, yes, but if you analyze the whole operation, the only IP patented is the plant genetics. So the rest of it, I could optimize. If we're talking about pots, if we're talking about irrigation system, if we talk about tractors, All of that could be open source, could be cost effective, and that's going to be a huge advantage for this operation. As of the rest, I believe that the patented blueberries, I don't want to look that too much because that's work of 10 or 15 years of these people, and they're giving me great results. But if later, if we find a way to manage the different molecules of the plant and understand how to make it open source, I would be open to do it. It's just as of now, I think focusing on the rest of the process design and optimizing the cost with open source would be a big advantage and not having to worry about the plant patented as of now.
Excellent. So, would you be open to a program where, because, well, first of all, have you ever thought of the idea that, okay, well, in the future, like maybe I can open source these blueberries as well? Like, did you have those thoughts yet, or that hasn't really crossed your mind because you've got other issues on your mind?
I would love to do that because of each kilogram of blueberry I sell, I have to pay about 3% to the genetics guy. So when I do the profit and loss statement, that kind of cost. But also, if I use conventional plants, first of all, I couldn't plant them on my area because they would need a lot of chill hours, and these are zero chill hours. Also, the kilos I get from these patented plants, they're basically giving me that big fruit, which I sell for 50% more than conventional fruit. So if I do the all the cycle of paying the royalty fees and paying for the patenting part, I make more money using their plans than using open source plan because they don't have the same qualities of using less water, of giving
Yeah.
sweeter fruit. So that's the part where I say I'm not in a rush to take them out of my cycle. I believe there are other parts of the system I could optimize and later be focused on that specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like we're selling homes, which are still open source, but we're using as a cross cross subsidization model. Would you see like the well, I mean, the blueberries are absolutely paying your livelihood, right? So, but you would be open to open source development, like where okay, your effort could, for example, be oh here I'm a genetics worker now, who's developing open source breeded swarm breeding of blueberries or whatever whatever there is like you'd be interested in something like that or
Very much. Yes.
let's do it because that's how we open source the world. We work with people who say, okay, well, if that were open and anybody could have access, well, let me ask you this: what if everybody had access to that lower cost stock that was more productive, but it was open? How would that change your business? Would people make more money, or would they actually lose out because they don't have the top genetics?
I would say it depends on supply and demand. If everyone has access to these big blueberries that are sweeter and they're crunchier, maybe they're going to become a commodity. So people is gonna not going to pay double than they pay for conventional. So that would be a business model issue because you pay for something that is unique. And since they patent these kind of plants which create this unique product, that's where the supply and demand has more value. But if we open source this where anyone can plant them, well, that's going to be a different market.
Yeah, yeah, different market. But as an entrepreneur, you see that you can do enterprise model innovation. I see that in your writing there that you submitted. I mean, you're an entrepreneur, so you can adapt to different things as they come up as new opportunities to to do it. Yeah.
Right. And if we really innovate into processes and we make it more cost effective, I believe that that same cost is going to make more money than being able to pay for these patented varieties. So open source at the end is going to make more money than not.
Ah, would you say that if you open source the rest of the operation where you have mastery, absolute mastery of your machines, tools, likely fuel, infrastructure
Absolutely.
building, would you make more money on traditional blueberries than the patented blueberries because all those other costs are lower?
Correct. The capital expenditure is going to be much lower than what we have actually today. And at the end, we're looking for profits, not just for patented varieties.
Can you share some of those economics? Like, is that open information? Can you share like how many blueberries you like your revenue and like your costs and like in general or? Or
Sure.
is
I
it?
mean, you just go to a supermarket and you can see the prices with the jumbo blueberries in the conventional blueberries. So, as an example, with these patented plants, which are more productive, you can get about 6 kilos at least per plant. And with conventional plants, you get about 3 kilos per plant. So you do the math, and regarding pricing, for a premium kilo, you get about $6 on FOB terms. It means outside of your farm gate. And with a conventional one, of course, it depends on the season, but you get, I guess, at half.
Yeah.
So it's very different the approach that you're getting with the patented blueberries because they are breeded for what the public wants as of today.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Um, let's see. So tell me more regarding. So September 1, we have the Builder Crash Course now for 14 days. Tell me more about your schedule. How I mean, can you come here on September 1? Like maybe we're doing a 14-day build where it's a complete build of a house, including photovoltaics, including a thermal battery, including geothermal, and actually potentially a biodigester that we're going to then turn into like an energy source down the road. Not right now, but later. So we're doing a complete house build where you learn the swarm build technique in 14 days. Can you make it to that, or like what's your availability like? Tell me more about it. Like what would be the ideal situation? Because tell me more. Tell me more.
I could take the space. As I told you right now, I'm focusing more on my research center, which basically it's a small plot and I'm validating different IP genetics. But it's something I could maybe take some space, visit you, and then we can take it from there. It's not that I cannot go out of my cities, basically that I want to focus as much as possible, but I could make some space for the project you're talking about.
Uh huh. Uh huh. So, for example, with the Builder Crash Course, the 1 through the 14th, what can you make to a part of that? Like, would it be comfortable for you to make a part of that, or?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Okay. But tell me, like, if you're not so the actual enterprise package was, I mean, obviously part of it is that you're on site and building and participating in some of that. If you're not around, how do you envision well, the actual idea of the enterprise package was that we could hire you for as a construction manager at the end of the program. But apparently, I mean, that's not something you're pursuing, right? You're talking about, no, you're saying, I've got my thing, I've got my farm, I'm going to knock it out of the ballpark with that. That's my focus. And this will provide some extra tools that can help you succeed, right? Mm-hmm.
That's my goal, but I'm open to adapt. It depends on what you're open to teach, and I can adapt.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Because beyond I mean, there's going to be plenty of design stuff. And then as you watch, watch our progress, um, I mean, there's a full education curriculum behind that, primarily about the design build of all the aspects of civilization and the techniques we use. So, um, yeah, yeah, yeah. My concern is like, how rapidly are you? I mean, hmm, how are you picking up the skills? Um, so I mean, about the time that you can commit to it is like it's kind of like about half time or something. Like you've got, I mean, you've got a full time job already, so it's like 1/3, 1/2, or something between like a quarter and a half of your time that you can commit to this. Is that something
At
like that?
least if we talk about hours, 6 or more per day. I don't see any issue with that. And it depends on the project. I could adapt the time schedule.
Hmm. And how do we do, for example, like say we're building out something here and you don't have the infrastructure to build it out there? Like you're saying you would actually build an infrastructure where you are to replicate some of the things we do here?
I saw the cost on the spreadsheet you have in your website, and I think it's very possible. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that could work. I mean, that's interesting. I'm trying to wrap my head around how that would work. But I mean, if you so you feel you would have ample opportunity to learn what we teach in a remote kind of setting. Are you pretty good at I mean, would you call yourself like good rapid learn? Like as an entrepreneur, obviously you have to learn, be on your feet and learning. So you feel that you pick up things fast and
Yes, I do. I'm very obsessive about what I want to learn. Until I learn it fully and I perform it as it should be,
uh
I
huh,
feel comfortable. So
uh
yes,
huh. Because definitely a lot of the collaborative design stuff, such as on the internet doing CAD and anything that involves online infrastructure. I mean, you can absolutely do that.
correct.
How much experience do you have with messing around with all the infrastructures, such as house building or fixing tractors and things? I mean, you've done it hands on quite a bit yourself, or how does that your experience look on that?
No, we hire people. So when we build houses, as in the farms, we
Yeah.
hire a person that has a team and they do
Mm-hmm.
it. So I
Mm-hmm.
was planning if sometimes I get stuck to be able to be a support with them. Maybe call them and teach them how to make it, and they can teach me if I get stuck.
Uh huh. Um, you're saying, I'm sorry. Which part are you referring to? So if you are you're learning to build something yourself, you would ask them for help to help you, or
Yes, correct.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So you see yourself more. I mean, let me try to clarify this in my mind. So yourself, for example, you've got to build new housing for the people that you're or infrastructure or whatever, which is agricultural infrastructure. Tell me more about your agricultural infrastructure. Is it more like what I saw in a video where it's like this empty field and some maybe shade cover, irrigation systems, all that? What kind of infrastructure do you have at your farm?
We have packing houses, we have houses where people live, and we also have the infrastructure that you saw in the video, which are basically sunshades, pots, front cover, irrigation system, and reservoirs. Those are the main operations that we have. And
Mm-hmm.
what I meant that if I need to build something more than one person, that's where I would reach people to be help to make it happen.
Uh huh. Okay. Okay. Um, so, for example, what would be like the first thing that you can see you could apply from our work into your work? Like, what do you see as the first example of something that you'd be interested in?
The tractor system for irrigation, I would say the house as well. Being able to build our own warehouses, packing houses with that same teachings would be the most cost effective that I could apply as of now.
So say structures. So do you build with lumber over there, or is it more
Not
like
very often.
steel,
Yes,
more steel and concrete?
correct. More concrete, most of all. And steel as an infrastructure, correct.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you'd be building mostly out of steel and concrete for your local application. Because right now the things that we're building, as far as the houses themselves, those are largely lumber construction, and there's steel like for foundation and steel and concrete foundations and things like that. But largely, we've done wood construction. However, there are things like rebar-based structures and trusses that we are interested in doing, and in fact, producing our own concrete with solar baking of limestone and things like that. Um, Now, those are. Um, I'm trying to think about how that could apply. That can definitely apply once we develop that, and you can have turnkey operations that build all those techniques. But right now, I mean, we don't have a lot of stuff. I'm not sure like what we could offer you on steel construction, for example. What can we
I
offer you?
understand, but I think the point here is adapting to what you're currently doing since you already have the cost structure and validation of the project and be able to apply that locally. I don't want to do the same what I'm doing. I want to pivot into what you're doing and make it more cost effective.
I mean, so are you saying that you would actually build, for example, the trusses we build from oriented strand board OSB sheets as well as lumber? I mean, you would actually replicate some of that.
That's the point, correct.
That's the point. You have full access to hardware stores that have lumber and kind of like the Home Depot of today, like,
Yes.
or is it a lot? about, because we actually built a house, a brick house in Belize, and over there we didn't really have lumber. We went to the Amish people or Mennonites, and they cut the lumber from local rot-resistant woods. Is it that you have like the more of the full Western supply chain, or would you be more relying on like locally cut lumber?
We have the full Western supply chain. So where I live is basically 5 hours from the border of United States. And you mentioned Home Depot. We have that kind of stores here as well. So that wouldn't be any issue about having the main inputs. We have the same that you can find in US.
Okay. So you'd actually, so say for residential structures, you'd be interested in building them out of the same, using the exact same, so replicating the techniques that we're using currently.
Yeah, I want to innovate in cost and quality. That's my main approach.
Sorry, in cost and quality, you said.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah. I think I haven't thought about. I know that, for example, in Belize, like they wouldn't use a lot of the stick frame because of termites, so they go all steel and concrete over there. So I want to make sure that I have no experience building in Mexico, right? So I don't know how it would work. But do you see any reasons why it would not work?
Not really before. It was because the cost of concrete and steel was cheaper here, so people could construct their houses in a cost-effective way. But since after 2019, everything has been increasing on price, and there's been an opportunity for start implementing these kind of materials.
What's your cost of concrete now, say per cubic meter? Is that how you cost it out?
I guess I could share with you, as of now, I don't have it very clear on my mind,
Um,
but I can share it with you.
so maybe we can actually look at those things because I'd be also curious to see, well, actually, what is the cost, or maybe if you even, yeah, I can show you some of the bill of materials, and let's just compare. Okay, what is this truss? What is this wall module cost? And see actually how it does there. That would be actually very interesting. Yeah.
Agree.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's. This is. I'm like pretty amazed because you're saying, okay, so in this context in Mexico, I'm wondering, could it work? Yeah, I think so, but let's see. Let's see if it works. And then, I mean, I could definitely get excited about like, okay, say in November 1st, we're gonna release the put in enough effort around the open source skid steer to make it happen as a pretty much like for you, you would be, for example, here's a pilot project, just like us. We're going to be using that skid steer in our own construction. So then we have, oh yeah, now we have you. Build up your workshop, get some people welding over there. Hey, or we have our summer trip to your place and we'll build it over there. Like, because actually 2 weeks, we're in part of our curriculum is doing international trips every year, doing all kinds of interesting work. So maybe we could do that.
It's an option, of course.
Yeah. Interesting. So we'll see. Wow. Um, what else? What else do we talk about? Um, I mean, the logistics. Like we have to think about like. Um, Let me ask you this question. So ideally, if you were to dictate your own schedule, perhaps build your own some of your facility for fabrication at your place, and you already have like workshops where you fix tractors. So I mean, you already have a lot of that infrastructure, right? So I mean, you have welders and things like that.
Yes, in place in the company.
Do you have any CNC machines to do any stuff like CNC torch tables or anything like that?
Not yet.
Not yet. We could see how it works. We don't have. We built a couple of CNC torch tables, but none of them are production grade. So uh, right now we're just planning to buy one off the shelf and then open source it as we go. Kind of like with this bootstrapping approach. It's like we do what we can. Like we have the house right now that's fully open source, and one by one we're open sourcing all the technologies. Yeah. Okay. If you were to draw up your ideal schedule, what would that look like for how much time you'd like to come in? I mean, do you think, for example, that oh well, if I just get the tools and materials, and can you also get people, I guess some of your employees to help you and things like that?
Yes.
Exactly. Well, if you have that, and in some way you can be, with some effort, be replicating some of the infrastructure that we have, because it is basic. I mean, it's not like we're talking about advanced manufacturing facilities that cost millions of dollars. This is just basic tools used wisely. So you could definitely replicate. But if that's the case, I mean, what would you actually like prefer to stay there most of the time and do like parallel experiments down there?
That would be my choice, but as I told you, I'm open to visit as often as needed.
Okay, yeah, that could be interesting. That would work. Yeah, because typically the limit is that a person needs the infrastructure, but you pretty much have that. You've got the physical space. You already have some tools. You already have people. So that's what's needed. Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Um, let me actually take a look at. I had a couple of questions on what you wrote. Um, Tell me more about. So, what do you do to? You said you'd actually take a trip every year to relax and kind of like a think week or something like that. Tell me about that.
Correct. Some desert, some forest. Basically, I take a full week and just, as I told you in the email, think about what has worked and what hasn't. Sometimes with some guidance, sometimes I do it just by myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything that particularly sticks out in my mind, but yeah. I mean, sounds like you'd be a great contribution to the program. While you can't be a lot on site, I mean, we'll see like what works best for being there. So maybe we can follow up. Yeah, I mean, if you have no more questions, I don't particularly can think of any questions right now. We can follow up and do more later. And we should also, I mean, we should talk about, well, once the curriculum is more refined, or like, I do want to, I don't know if you can maybe tell me a little more regarding like, okay, here's the main, maybe as a follow up, like, here's the main problems that you're trying to solve. Like as if, like, imagine I was like a consultant for you, for example, and we've got, okay, we can, build things, design things, and create or build tools. Can you tell me, like, maybe write down like a little bit more of the priorities that, on the scale of the next 4 years, where do you see the growth and evolution of your enterprise, and how exact, like, what would be maybe like the dream ideal scenario of what all the results that come out of spending time with us, what all can happen. And I can follow up in an email and maybe write this down in a more specific way. But I am interested in seeing, like, where do you see your company going within 4 years, for example? Like, what's your current biggest challenge and things like that. Are you actually trying to get more land right now and things like that? Are you trying to do that? Are you trying to acquire more space, or how much acreage do you have already?
800. No, what I want you to right now is optimize everything. That's why I'm trying to understand the open source processes and be able to optimize each centimeter,
I'm sorry, to optimize the what?
each location, each meter. So I don't want to get any more acres. I want to really want to be able to optimize each with the open source that we're teaching right now.
Okay, okay. How much acreage do you have under cultivation?
800.
And that's 100% blueberry, or what kind of?
No,
Tell.
citrus, pecans, grains.
Mm-hmm. I would like to just find out more details of what specific. You're saying a lot is about irrigation, or?
Most of it, but what I could share is basically the process that we have, the commodities we do, and from there we can take it where we can optimize.
Can you send me information on that? So what I would like to see is, okay, here's the crops I'm doing. Here's the main challenges and needs. How I'm trying to expand or optimize each. Let's talk about that. I'd like to find out more to see like what we can what we can do together in terms of, because that would be, I mean, you see for our side it's like, okay, so we've got these specific capacities. Are they actually any good when it comes to a real life operation? Because we haven't done that yet. We're running a farm here. We're not selling product. I mean, we don't have a commercial operation, but some of the things we will do is things like, I mean, tree crops and all kinds of crops for actually for feeding people here as well. So we're going to be doing all that. Is part of your mission to actually grow food for the people on site, actual real crops that people eat instead of going to the store, or that's beyond the scope?
I haven't focused on that specifically, but I could do that for
Mm-hmm.
sure at some
Mm-hmm.
points.
Yeah, and then there's all the stuff like, okay, here's energy, here's sanitation, water, all that, all the infrastructure goes into the housing. So that's points of collaboration. And it's interesting to see how, yeah, the methods we do can apply to where you are. Do send me more info on kind of like, because I don't like, maybe, I mean, as much detail as possible so I can take a look at that and see how we can work together, and I'll follow up with you as well.
Makes sense. So I'll take a few days, maybe three up next, and I'll
Yeah.
share all the information that we talk about
Yeah, yeah, that's excellent. That's excellent. So thank you, and we'll be in touch. I'll follow up with email on that.
for you. Thank you.
Okay, have a good day.
You soon.
Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye.
And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out. I mean, email me any questions and things like that on your mind as well.
I'll, I'll do.
Okay,
Appreciate it.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.